Apparently this is where 70 people are still registered to vote. If we were to trust the voter rolls, that means that 96 people are supposed to be sleeping in there, using the bathroom, showering, cooking.
As our main residents. First of all, right across, if we can pan the cam over, that is a Capitol right there. This is how close this place is. Right behind me, this beautiful building. It's actually the Peachtree Pine homeless shelter that was closed almost 10 years ago in 2017. But there's still some weird stuff happening here.
The weird thing that's happening here is that, again, according to Georgia registration rolls, people are still registered to vote from this exact same location. Over 70 people are actively still registered to vote, according to the most recent Georgia registration rolls that we received, which was just updated less than 2 weeks ago.
Jeez.
The fact that this place was shut down more than 10 years ago and they still haven't cleaned the people up off the rolls is crazy to me.
What are they doing? Like, I mean, literally, what are they doing? This place, no one is living in it. Everything's boarded up. It says private property. There's gates. There's a fence over the gates. The window's broken. We took a peep inside from this vantage point, and there was no one in there. I mean, I would love to even maybe we can walk around and see where would someone actually even drop off ballots here.
That's a good question. Why don't we actually go do that?
Yeah.
Let's walk around and see what's going on. So this is 477 Peach Street Northeast. And according to the voter rolls, there are 70 people actively registered to vote here. That means that at some point during any election season, somebody from USPS is supposed to come by and drop off some kind of voter information. So we're gonna go find out where they do this. So we're gonna try the first entrance, but it says danger.
Do not enter. Definitely can't get into
close.
there. I don't think you would want to anyway.
Now, Fabian, how funny is this right here? Amber Higgins Connor, Amber for Atlanta City Council citywide. The first thing that I would be focusing on is why in the heck is this still a problem?
Number one, she doesn't even know what this place is. Doesn't care.
No.
Because it doesn't get her votes. And second is she does know it's here and they're doing it to get her votes.
Well, we have another entrance, so I don't think we're gonna get in here.
No.
It's closed. Now, Fabian, the thing is that I don't doubt that once upon a time, this was actually a legit shelter where homeless people were being registered to vote from for whatever reason, for health benefits, we don't care. But the problem is that obviously this place has closed. It's been closed since 2017. That means that no longer people are laying their head inside of there and claiming this place as the place of residence. That means that they should be automatically purged from the voter rolls, but they're not.
You know what's interesting is if you have 100 sites like this, or who knows how many, but let's just say 100, and they each have around 100 people voting there that don't live there, that there's no building. You do that all over the place, and you can disperse the burden of proof and say, well, we don't have enough people to go to all 1,000 locations.
Exactly.
Compared to if it was in one or two. They can claim, well, we don't have the manpower, the resources, we need more money to go and send people all over these places, but it's really this easy.
Yeah.
Here's an address, it's not open, you take the voters off. That's it.
That's simple. And you know what's interesting to me is that perhaps they're doing this on purpose to win big federal elections, because Georgia in 2020, President Trump lost it only by 11,000 votes. So if there's 100 of these just in one county,
Exactly.
with about 100 voters or so,
It'd be extremely easy to do.
exactly. Let's keep going and seeing what's up. I mean, maybe eventually we'll find a door or 70-something people who are sleeping here.
Maybe 70 people walk out of here.
Well, good thing to know that this is private property and no trespassing. So maybe this is where
And you can't even pull that.
you can't even pull that.
It's completely covered. I shouldn't have touched that. I don't know what that is. I think that's the end of it, no?
That's the end of it, yeah. Should we go see what's up with neighbors, maybe? This is the neighbors.
Oh, it's definitely nothing in here.
I don't think we're supposed to. Well, apparently this is where 70 people are still registered to vote as of today. And I think that's what really pisses off most people, is that
It just doesn't make sense.
it just doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't make logical sense unless you do it on purpose.
And Democrats' biggest narrative always is that you guys are trying to suppress people's votes, take away homeless people's votes. We're literally at a place where people are actively registered, and I don't see even homeless people squatting in
There's
here.
no one here. There's literally no one here.
There is a still sign right there that says open studio.
So what we've done is we've now walked across the entire building, and this is the last part of the building. And as you can see, it's completely boarded off. So for anyone saying, well, they might still be doing something there, in addition to the broken windows, the danger, no trespassing, now we have this. So this is the entire building we've walked around now.
And the thing that I keep thinking about while we went through the entire building is there's no way that Fulton County can hold legitimate elections. And if I was a Republican candidate, that's what I would be focusing on nonstop right now. Is if I'm running anywhere where there's a county like this that touches Atlanta, I would say, I'd be focusing on what the heck is going on. I don't know if people are actually voting, but they are on the voter registration list. And are they committing other fraud? Is some entity in here collecting these ballots, collecting welfare fraud? I don't know, but it's so simple, right? That's what pisses us off. It's just simple to come here and do what we did, take an hour or two out of the day and see these, in just one place, 70 irregularities.
Yeah. And that's not including the churches. That's not including the people who are registered to vote at places that are even open. This place has been closed for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. That's a decade. And no one's cleaned them.
What if I told you the guy that's in charge of elections in Georgia, the Secretary of State, says that we have the cleanest voter rolls in all of the U.S.?
Oh, Mr. Secretary of State, what's up with this?
And what if I told you that he's now trying to run for governor as well, governor of Georgia? So, hey, Secretary of State Raffensperger, why don't you just come down here to 477 Peachtree Street, Northwest, see a homeless shelter that closed 10 years ago now?
Yeah.
And
you can tell the voters, how is it possible that you claim that you have the cleanest voter rolls and we're literally standing in front of a place that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe walking around Fulton County and seeing places like this, I have to tell you that back during the 2020 election, I didn't really believe in any of the conspiracy theories or, there's voter fraud, systemic voter fraud. But coming out here and seeing this for myself, whether it's abandoned homes, empty lots, places like this, I have to say that this is a problem. And I'm starting to believe the 2020 narrative regarding what President Trump was saying, especially about Fulton County, because he lost the state only by 11,000 or so votes. And if we just walked around Fulton County and already found about 10,000 irregularities just in one county.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how much this is happening in other places, not just here, right? California, Minneapolis, like any blue state, I assume they've replicated this exact same model in all of those places.
And we see that map always, that Kamala Harris won every state where there's no voter ID. Georgia thankfully has voter ID, so I think that there is a check on stuff like this. But what about in states like California, where obviously there isn't a check on this? Imagine how dirty the voter rolls are there.
Oh my gosh. 44 million people live in that state. Imagine how dirty those voter rolls are.
Jeez. Wow, this is epic. Well, we're at a UPS store located at 2625 Piedmont Road Northeast in Atlanta, Fulton County, where apparently 96 people are right now actively registered to vote. And the reason we're laughing is because this is such a clear violation of law in Georgia. It's very specific. You cannot use a UPS store, a PO box, a virtual mailbox, whatever you want to call it, as a place of residence. The law is clear. Where you vote from, where you say you vote from, is the place, or where you live is the place that you actually rest and sleep at. So, clear violation of law. What do you think, Fabian?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's sleeping in there. And if there's you said there's 70 something?
There is, according to the latest registration rolls that the Georgia Secretary of State office provided us, there's 96 people registered to vote from here.
That's interesting. And I bet they all vote Democrat.
I bet.
Here is a similarity between the healthcare fraud in Minnesota and the voter fraud here in Georgia. We were just laughing about it.
Yeah, it's funny because if we were to trust the voter rolls, that means that 96 people are supposed to be sleeping in there, using the bathroom, showering, cooking.
As their main residents.
As their main residents, the same way how there's supposed to be a certain amount of kids at a daycare when they go and visit these daycares in Minnesota owned by Somalis. It's the exact same thing. And a key thing that people don't understand is that all of the welfare fraud starts with voter fraud. If you end up on a voter registration list, you can suddenly start to claim benefits because oh my God, now you have a residential address.
Yep, exactly. So now they know where to send the checks to.
And we have a feeling that that's exactly what is systematically happening at the churches.
Yeah.
The churches are using advocacy groups to sign up homeless people, maybe not to vote, but to definitely collect benefits. Now, are the homeless people there to collect the benefits?
That's what we don't know.
We don't know.
The checks are going there, so what's going on with the checks? Is it just a massive amount of mail that's uncollected that just sits there with checks in it, or is someone helping the homeless people by opening them?
And here's the other caveat. These advocacy groups that go and sign up the people, the homeless people, to get the benefits from the church and stuff, they get money from the federal government.
To do that.
from the state government, from the federal government. It's interesting. Let's go see what else we have here. We're outside 201 Washington Street Southwest, back to the church where I discovered thousands of people are registered from the same exact place. And Fabian, we started to search this place and look into it a little bit more. What did we uncover here?
So first of all, right across, if you can pan the camera over, that is a Capitol right there. This is how close this place is. This is the Central Outreach and Advocacy Center. This is basically a homeless shelter, and it was really interesting. We saw that they have two lines here. One is for services, and one is a mail line. So if you're looking to get your mail, I guess you have thousands of people come here, like a UPS store at the church, and get the mail.
So what we kind of also discovered is that this exact same outreach program takes money from the state government, right? Through grants. It also has private donations, of course. But what we're starting to put together here is that this seems to be like a massive operation to register as many people as possible that kind of lean a certain political affiliation.
Yeah, you would think.
You would think, right?
Yeah, so they actually took in almost $700,000. I looked at the taxes. Now, you can't see the individual donations where the money is coming from, but they did get a grant from the government for $25,000 just a few years ago for homeless activities. And then they just paid a company $50,000 to write grant proposals to the government. So they're paying a company 50 grand to go write grants to get them, they hope, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to do more of what they're already doing.
And what we're starting to also realize here is that we now know that if there's a surplus from the election budget for the county actually maintains that surplus to disperse it to various other places, like that advocacy group here, who may have received it from that funding, the $25,000 and the $50,000. So if we put everything together, the county is purposely maintaining the voter list unchecked and not cleaning them up, so they have as many people as possible on the voter list, kind of bloating up the voter list, right?
Yeah, and then I would be curious, and we're going to do this later on, get the board of directors for this place and find out who they contributed money to politically, because I guarantee you it's going to be like the other places we saw, 100% of the political donations are going to Democrats.
Between the two churches here, over 1,000 people are registered to vote. The crazy part for me is, right, we talked about the advocacy group, kind of seeing homeless people, bringing them in, getting them registered and whatnot. The reason I say that they target them is because this is where all of them usually are. We're in the colder part of the year now, so I think they're in a little different location. They kind of settle where the sun hits them pretty hard during the day, which is right there on the corner. We have various shelters all around here. The idea that I'm trying to draw to everybody and to you is that this is a heavy homeless area. And to have churches having advocacy groups inside the churches going out and registering them literally out here in the streets using taxpayers' money is a scheme, in my opinion.
Well, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. I'm not gonna say all homeless people, but we know homeless people can be mentally unwell. So you're registering mentally unwell people from the church to get a ballot to the church.
Yep.
And what are they gonna do with that church? Are the homeless people gonna actually go and vote?
Yeah, I don't really think homeless people are having discussions on who to vote for city council in Georgia. Pretty sure that's not something that typically comes up in conversation.
And let's say they are not voting. Okay, you're still registering people from here who are socioeconomically in a disadvantage. And we know we have a bunch of programs that you can get federal or state funding from.
A lot of them.
So potentially we are also witnessing welfare fraud happening right here.
Oh, I'm sure you can find a lot of interesting things here, that's for sure. These are all voters right here.
These are all voters. Usually the only difference is that, again, during the warmer time of the year, there's hundreds of them here. I'm not even kidding.
I've seen them here before when we've been. Yeah.
During the protest.
It's covered.
And all around us, again, are shelters. So homeless people are coming here because of a shelter. Suddenly somebody from the church comes out and says, hey, are you registered? Not even registered to vote, right?
Hey, do you want some government assistance?
Do you want some government assistance?
Don't worry, no address, we can put you here. By the way, hey, we're gonna register you to vote, right?
There you go.
Right? You want everything else? Sure.
I sure do.
So think about how easy this is. I work in the government. I have a friend, and there's an organization right across the street that's hiring. I get them a job, they pay $100,000 for that position. Now they can thank me for that job. And all I ask in return is that, hey, they're my friend, why don't they contribute to me getting reelected? And on top of that, as a cherry, I'll make sure that they get some grants. They get a few of their employees inside and say, oh, hey, let's all donate to Fabian because he's giving us these massive grants. And that's how you stay in power, that's how you make money, that's how you get kickbacks.
Now, the irony about all of this is that what you just explained to me is pure corruption.